Всем доброго времени суток, меня зовут Виктор, это Sedeus Games, и мы продолжаем проходить Trüberbrook. Итак, что нам надо сделать? Так, что это? Окошечко, ну-ка. Мы должны найти инструменты. Опа.
Hey, mister. Hey, mister.
Я так понимаю, я девчонки антенну немножко порчу. Так, что тут у нас? Застелить? Это правильно. Чего? Говорит, пораниться могу. Так, а что такое? Hey, мистер, говорит.
Look, this is the star log I'm using to stay in contact with my home planet. Just met human child Lenny, keeper of a cosmic secret.
Awesome. Is this a Starlock for real?
Конечно.
May I please?
My pleasure.
This is Lenny of planet Earth speaking. My uncle had a secret stash hidden under a loose plank in room 3.
Room 3? That happens to be my room.
О, как.
Room 3 used to be where my uncle Heinz lived.
And where is your uncle now?
My mom says he is now living on planet No Good.
Бездельников, no good. Ну, значит, пойдем сгоняем туда. Странно, я, кстати, половицу-то вроде использовал. Ничего не происходило. Ну-ка. О!
Oh, there really is a hidden stash below.
Что у нас там?
Loads of useless junk, and an almost empty bottle of schnapps.
Бери, и тоже пригодится. Нормально.
I'll only take the schnapps. Bolts and shoes.
Больше шус. Так, ну что, здесь, наверное, больше ничего. Я предполагаю, что можно под столик поставить, который скрипит, бумажечку. Пойдемте попробуем. Кстати, газетка там лежит. Ага, ну-ка.
It might be able to support a glass of beer, but not this table. Actually, it just needs one more mew.
Одного мью? Чего?
My father used to say, the only thing more stable than a beer coaster was 2 beer coasters. And I think I finally understand what he meant.
Прикольно.
Thank you, but I believe this ordinary table is not deserving of your delicate tablecloth.
Так, ну-ка пойдем посмотрим, что там за газетка была. Интересно же. Почитаем новости. Кстати, двойная поставка. 998 лет Трюбенбруку. Возьмем. Вот и вторая подставочка.
What's this? The table stopped wobbling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you so very much. I was hardly able to focus on anything else but this cursed wobblery.
Good morning.
Excuse me, sir.
You've got yourself a nice spot here.
The name is Baron Otto Titan von Trüberbrook.
Tannhauser, pleased to meet you.
Please come over. Don't waste the opportunity to put up with the company of a lonely, broken old man.
Are you from around these parts?
You may very well say so. I put all my life's work into the well-being and prosperity of Trüberbrook. I once was the owner of both, the mines and the cable car. That's all history now.
Do you have any friends or family?
My spouse left me for good. and my beloved Trüberbrook is slowly going down the drain. Only Claus remained loyal to me all these years. Alas, now even he has disappeared.
Who is Claus?
Claus is my tomcat, an angel of an animal. He was the only one to always remain by my side. But now, he's vanished, without a trace. Everything in this world is going down the drain. Mark my words.
Was Claus abducted?
I don't know. Claus was always faithful and stood by my side. Then he just disappeared, without a trace. You can't rely on anything in this world anymore. Let me tell you. It's just awful.
What kind of a strange place is this?
Well, you should know. This used to be one of the most beautiful spots on the face of the planet. The fair and the fortunate came here for treatment. Travelers and tourists of all fashion. Citizens that weren't occupied in the tourism business found work in the mines. But it's all over now.
Do you still have the key to the old cable car, by any chance?
Please excuse me, but I need to be on my own now. I need some rest to mourn for Claus.
Could you tell me something about the cable car in this town?
Don't bring up the old cable car. I don't even want to think about it.
Please excuse me.
Слушай, там Клауса найти, что ли, надо для него еще? Блин, дед, ты ну вообще наглый какой-то. А это был не Клаус? А что это они тут загородили все? Ага! Кто-то...
Hilarious the Unready, Margrave of Trüberbrook.
Conqueror of the Dragon, Savior of Trüberbrook, yep. In the year of our Lord, 1250. We don't want to cover up these people's works of art.
А еще нет, дымок идет оттуда.
There's a selection of local charcuterie on display. Würstebrei, Stippgrütze, Schlachte Platte, Pathoke, Tote Oma.
Tote Oma. Ну-ка. Где этот кот? Да засранец явно знает что-то об этом. Вон, кстати, кот сидит. Хотя это больше на лесу похоже.
Oh my. It looks desperate.
Сыр и... Интересно.
We know well enough that cats like to climb. Unfortunately, their bodies seem to be designed for climbing upwards only. Anyway, Beverly, I've spotted a gigantic red tabby in a tree, which, on closer inspection, could in fact also be more like a fox. Assistance may be required.
I'll just try luring the cat down with a mating call.
Брачного зла.
Meow. Meow.
Что, не про канала? Да, странно.
No reaction. I can't get close enough. Soft as a feather. I can't get...
Так, а как туда залезть-то вообще? Ага. Замечательное
A
дерево.
beautiful, healthy tree.
Acersoidu platanus. The
Кот
It
слазь.
won't be this easy getting close to it.
Мне надо какая-нибудь лестница, я так понимаю. Что-то в этом роде. Иначе не прокатит все это дело. Так, ну это понятно, это надписи. Оп. Это что такое?
Locked.
Ведерко. Рыцарь. Где же это мне взять, кстати, подштанники?
There's a clothesline up there, right under my window.
Вот она мне и нужна. Сейчас заберем веревочку. Все, оконца. Такая неспешная игра, медитативная вот.
Fresh air is still the preferable way to dry your...
Ты веревку-то забери. А, во. Вешалку. Хорош, вешалку забрал. А веревку? Ага.
Hey, mister!
Так, до чего тут еще можно дотянуться-то? А отсюда вроде ни до чего. Зачем мне вешалка вообще? Интересно. У меня две вешалки, синяя и красная. Угу. Здесь ничего, здесь ничего. Здесь тоже ничего.
No.
Так, а эту штуку можно убрать? Нет? Так, ну я не знаю, прям надо сходить. Может, удочку взять? Попробовать.
Now look at all these fishing rods. Quite the collection.
You can borrow one if you like, but only in exchange for a pawn. They have a tendency to get lost otherwise.
Pawn? You mean deposit?
Что это наделает такое? Видите, говорит, эту штуку на земле?
Would this be an adequate deposit for the fishing rod?
I'm afraid not. It should be something that attracts attention but has no real importance. Something you can do without while you are on fishing tour.
Ну, возьми билет.
Would this be an adequate deposit for the fishing rod?
I'm afraid not. It should be something that attracts attention but has no real importance.
Да я
Something
понял.
you can do without
А что
while
мне,
you are on
билет
fishing tour.
пригодится на рыбалке? Что-то странное. Ну, возьми вот эту штуку.
Oh, thanks. For me?
Does this device suffice as a deposit in exchange for the fishing rod?
Yes. Feel free to leave it here.
Это ж вибратор.
Yes, that sounds like a good deal.
Серьезно, это вибратор. Дай удочку, спасибо.
Just be sure to bring it back, will you?
Хорошо, не потеряю. Так, ладно, у меня есть удочка. Так, там ключи. И зачем мне удочка? Интересно. Тык-тык-тык-тык-тык. Тык-тык-тык-тык-тык. Ведерко можно взять? Нельзя. И это нельзя. Не знаю, может мне удочкой попробовать. А, ну сейчас попробуем удочкой, типа. Этой штукой. Нет, не получится, что ли?
I can't get...
Это что такое? Пойдем рыбу половим. Зачем только?
Well then, good catch.
Уже? Не, ну кот лиса это забавно. Вот там что-то... По-моему, ты что-то, друган, сломал.
What the? Can opener?
Так, консервный нож. Удочку подбери. Поломанная удочка. Что это?
Subject, species reintroduction. Although I can't return the tuna to the wild as long as it's in the can.
Подожди, это же этот как его?
It won't be this easy.
О, камыш. Ну-ка.
That's some sturdy, full-grown reed.
Так, камыш я добыл. Зачем? Не знаю. О! А, это типа дротик сейчас будет у него. Усыпляющий. Прикольно. Эй, блимс. Иди. Ну что, кот лиса к тебе вернулся, старик? Барон. Ага, понятно. Теперь мне тебя отсюда выманивать как-то надо. На,
You like
рыбку.
this, don't you?
Я не понимаю, это лиса или это кот, или это собака? Класс! Почему я меч дымится?
Good morning.
Excuse me, sir.
Any news about claws?
Nothing.
Как, он же вернулся.
So what's with the cable car?
I used to own the cable car. In fact, the whole mine. Everything was taken away from me. Those maniacs destroyed everything. The cable car, the mine, the whole village.
Who are these maniacs you're referring to?
The Millennium Cooperative, a multinational conglomerate of enterprises. Ruthless and unscrupulous. They leave us little family businesses with next to nothing.
You ran a mining business?
Well, but yes. I am the district mayor of Trüberbrook Zolz and Trüberbrook Düssel. Assistant secretary to the patron of Trüberbrook and the arts. Well known beyond the borders of this country.
What do you mean they destroyed everything?
First, they stripped me of the mine. Then, more and more dubious eggheads and foreign workers started pouring into town, driving visitors away with the gigantic machines.
Please, go on.
More and more outsiders came to town. What they were actually up to in the mine, no one knows for certain. But after a few years of quick profits, they shut down the place and closed the cable car all together in one go. Just think of it. This was my life's work. They closed down the mines, drove away the people, and turned a once flourishing community into a ghost town.
These must have been difficult times for you.
I appreciate your concern.
Would you mind lending me the key to the old cable car?
The cable car, the cable car! What do you want with it? There's nothing worthwhile up there. Don't bother me with your mumbo-jumbo, will ya? My faithful cat Claus has abandoned me. That's all I can think of right now.
Please excuse.
Клаус, подожди, а как он покинул? Что там побежал в эту сторону? Он где-то здесь? Где-то кто-то чавкает. Где кто чавкает, непонятно. Клаус, ты не здесь?
There's a selection of...
Нет, Клаус не здесь. Может, Клаус побежал наверх? А вот и Клаус.
Nowhere to run from here, kitty. Oh, I think he passed out.
Ну да, если не померла.
Now I've got you.
Да, это определенно лиса. Короче, дед, я привел тебе Клауса. Теперь давай ключ от канатной дороги, гад.
Is this by chance your cat, Claus?
Oh, my beloved Claus. Where have you been? You look exhausted, old friend.
Good morning.
Excuse.
Would you mind lending...
You've been so kind. You have reunited an old man. I'd have given you everything. My heritage, my stocks, my startups. Yet all you desire in your modesty is this aged key. Here you are. I can't fathom what you may want with it, but please take it.
Наконец-то.
Now it's glowing green. I met a woman named Gretchen in Trüberbrook. She is a fellow scientist. Gretchen studied anthropology in Vienna.
Could you please focus on the task at hand?
Hi.
Hey.
I wonder what interest the burglar has in my paper.
Presumably not the brightest candle on the cake. Who else would steal a paper on quantum physics?
So, how long have you been here?
The day before yesterday. Feels much longer though. And just saying, the public transportation around here? Germany is a mess.
But then how did you get here?
Individual travel. By motorcycle, of course.
Why Trüberbrook of all places? It's hard to find, even on a map. But I'm not from these parts after all.
I've been trying to pinpoint the exact location of those rituals, and when I finally found them, I immediately took off. The people around here are nice, but also a little...
Something about them seems a bit off, yeah.
Tell me about yourself.
What would you like to know?
So you're from the States, huh?
The United States of America.
Where from?
Woodinville, Washington.
Never heard of it. Any bigger cities nearby that I might know?
Seattle, the rainy jewel of the Northwest. Heard of it?
Oh yes, I know the place. I was passing through some time ago.
You've been to the States?
Yes, once. That was a few years back though. Actually, I had come to New York to attend a conference, but then I got acquainted with some folks there and stayed a while longer.
A while longer? In New York City?
Not the whole time, no. Took a little road trip. First off to the New England states, Boston, Waterville, all the way up to Moosehead Lake, Mount Catherine and so on. Then Canada, and the Midwest. Montreal, Toronto, Detroit, Chicago. On and on. Then Washington State. Sort of got stuck there. Oregon, down to San Francisco. Ah, those were the days.
Wow. You must have passed through Seattle on the way then.
Yes, maybe. And that's where you study?
No, I studied on the East Coast. The Cornell, Ithaca, under Dr. Schrodinger. Have you heard of him?
Ah, of course. Now I understand why you're on exchange in Germany.
Exchange? No, it's more of a coincidence. I won the trip.
You won?
Don't ask me. I've never taken part in any lottery.
Interesting.
Так, консервный
I
нож.
wouldn't know how.
Так, а чё? Иди вскрывай.
Good idea, Hans, but that doesn't work at all. I'm sure this will take us up the mountain.
You're a funny man, Tannhauser. I like it.
На вешалках, серьезно?
The platform further uptown presents a wonderful view of the valley. Leaning on this rusty rail, nose to the wind, I can let my gaze wander freely to the other shore and across the mountains.
Чё это я не был? А что тут вообще сделать можно?
Locked.
Так давай консервным ножом ее вскрой. Что, ты не умеешь, что ли? Так, это мы уже записывали. Ага. Зарядимся энергией. Так, это я уже тоже записывал. Так, а что мне тут делать надо вообще? Ну-ка.
I have to insert a coin for.
Да, монетки-то у меня и нету.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss.
Have you talked to...
I gave the officer an outline of the crime. It's only going to be a matter of hours.
What do you mean? A matter of hours?
The police station is right next town. But as you know, we have to be patient. As soon as the inspector has solved his current case...
Keep me up to date. I noticed
Speak your mind.
that door over there hasn't been opened in a while, has it?
That's the door to the cellar, where my brother built his little lair. No one has taken any interest in that door since he left. He just took the key with him. Anything else I can do for you?
About the cable car.
Sure. What else do...
Do you have an idea what became of the Baron's cat?
After he had lost the mine, the cable car, and his wife, all that we... If you ask me, it was probably a bit too much for the poor...
I've heard enough.
Anything else I...
I'll be...
Make yourself at...
Так. Здесь ничего. Я бы зашел сюда.
Locked. There's a brown tube inside. But why would I need one?
Ну как, зачем? Чтоб было. Так, это я уже записывал. Это я тоже записывал.
I need to know what happens next.
У меня есть консервный нож, но не знаю, куда его применить.
I don't want to mess up the...
I've already made an entry on this.
Supplemental. I'm afraid the condition of my room is far below expected.
Интересно, что делать-то надо дальше? Здесь ключей нету. И здесь тоже ничего такого нету. Что это такое? А, это вывеска. антенна. Стол, старикан, что еще рассказать можешь?
Good morning.
You've been so... You have
Ага, понятно. Ну тут как бы ничего такого. Хм. Зачем это сделал, гад?
Now it's a case for the metal restorer. I professionally disassembled this town's landmark, an old set of armor, in a fit of passion. Note to self, make another appointment with the clinical psychologist.
Серьезно? Зачем ты это сделал, друг? Ой, блин, ну... Да забавно. А ну-ка.
Voila. There's a current again.
I'll just leave it like that.
Ай, гад.
Man, you're some klutz. We'll meet on top. In case you manage to find a way. See ya.
Вторая глава. Райский уголок. Опачки. А что это? Куда-то я упал?
Hello? Hello? Fascinating.
Neck circumference 39 centimeters. Heart rate 66 steady. Generally neglected, yet overall stable condition. Vigilance decrement, patient somnolent. Reduced effect display. Skin pigmentation livid. Nutritional basic needs barely met. Muscular system recessive, possible myopathy. Barrel-shaped thorax, strongly noticeable funnel chest. Raisin-colored nodes on both sides of the mid-clavicular line in the fourth ICS. Marfan syndrome, arachnodactyly. Lower extremities atrophic. Enormous kyphosis. Extremities bilaterally impaired, reduced muscle tone. Weak monosynaptic reflex.
А, это...
Past finger-nose coherence test line without anomalies. Abdomen flexible, no hardening. Overly vibrant bowel noises. Brisk peristalsis. Reduced breathing sound, right-hand side, basal. Hyperreflexia, mood agitated. Patient's condition unclear.
Where am I?
Patient has regained consciousness and appears responsive.
Excuse me, please. Could you tell me where I am?
Patient's orientation to person, space, time, and dimension remains unclear. I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Доктор,
How are you feeling?
нормально?
Ouch.
Who are you?
I'm selling these fine massage rods.
What are you doing here?
I was just about to ask you the same question.
Assuming you knew, where have you been born or assembled?
Assembled?
Have you ever had a déjà vu?
Only that I don't even understand this question either.
Have you ever had an out-of-body experience?
You are going to have an out-of-body experience in a moment, pal.
Interesting. Please remain prepared for further examinations.
Are you even listening to me?
I'm afraid we can't let you leave until we have verified your right to stay. It's for your own safety. Just knock the door loud and clearly when you feel able to undergo a few more experiments. I'll be there to pick you up. The patient's status remains unclear.
За доктора и болит.
I'm feeling a little dizzy.
Dr. Remmler, please behave.
They took away all my cool gadgets and locked me up in this small room. I tried protesting, but to no avail. What have I gotten myself into? It definitely doesn't feel like a relaxing summer vacation so far. An anatomical model of a... Hey, buddy.
Опять что-то разломал.
A fuse box. The lid is hanging off its hinges. Fried. I'm feeling a light breeze of air. Maybe I can squeeze through. I can't reach it. They don't seem to take hygiene and rather not know what happened here. It's locked tight. Brute force won't help. Why, of course. But where? I could use this to climb to the hatch. I need a very special tool to unscrew those very small screws.
Очень маленькие инструментики.
There. It's covered in mold. A good dose of chloride is the only option. It's calcified. Memories of my dorm room, not so long ago. No water pressure. Or clogged.
Че это?
There's something written on the wall.
Ну-ка, почитай,
It's
что
hard
тут.
to decipher in the darkness.
Ага, понял.
A coin. It fell right out of the shower head. And right into my inventory for some cosmic reason. The benefits of capitalism.
Чудеса капитализма. Чё слез-то? Ага. Санаториум Парадизо.
You sound asleep, but I'd rather not push my luck.
The door to the room where they had me locked up. Not as long as the snoring bully is sitting. I wonder what's in there. I need the right combination. A list of patients.
Что это?
I can barely imagine what these poor souls must have gone through. As far as I know, these apparatuses serve therapeutic purposes. They do, right? Sanatorium Paradiso, a bucolic sanctuary in the climatic health resort Trüberbrook. Beautifully situated retreat, fresh forest air, established high cuisine.
Так, у нас есть еще вот эта дверь. Ого, цепь такая висит.
This door is sealed by a humongous lock. I can hear the birds chirping outside. The sweet sound of freedom. Iron bars? This place is a prison.
Вот уже не знаю. Так, что написано?
Sanatorium Paradiso. What a strange place.
Так, ладно, давайте на этом мы серию закончим. Продолжим проходить следующий. Подписывайтесь на канал, задавайте вопросы, комментируйте видео. Говорите, что понравилось, что нет. Также можете подписаться на контакт, Twitter, Facebook. Все ссылочки внизу в описании под видео. Вот. Можете поставить лайк, если видео понравилось. Это тоже полезно. А на этом все. До встречи в следующих сериях. Всем пока.